and welcome to all you Aries people. Welcome to this horoscope forecast for the year 2013 for the sign of Aries. Now, what is going to happen? I'm going to look at the planets as from Jupiter until Pluto, and what are they going to do, and which house are they going to transit, and is there any special aspect forming during that year. And I'm also going to have a quick look at your ruler. Actually, I can start with the ruler and start to say the good news that there is no retrograde of Mars during the year of 2013. So last year in 2012 it had a long retrograde of Mars in Virgo, so it's not going to be anything like that. So it's much about Aries people are going to be Aries people basically, so going very straightforward, and that is good. Now, what is going to happen that is going to be important for all of us, and especially for the cardinal signs, especially for you because you are an Aries, a cardinal sign, it is about taking opportunities on a good level, taking on opportunities to accomplish and to be effective, considering things that you've been wanting for a very, very long time. And it has to do with key areas of your life, which means you as an Aries person, which means also your 4th house, your core, and your family, and your 10th house, your work. So let's break this a little bit down. Now, Jupiter is going to play a significant role next year, especially around the middle of the month, the middle of the year. And I mean, May, June, July, and especially August is going to be a big time for taking chances and opportunities for you Aries people. Now, why is that? Because this square that has been going on last year and will continue this year, the whole year. So you will have Uranus in your sign and Pluto in your 10th house in Capricorn. That will stay for the whole year, especially for people who have an ascendant or personal planets in Aries around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13 degrees of Aries. So those people will feel that the most. Now, having Uranus in your sign is very good. It's very liberating, and it's very, although it can make one a bit restless, because there is this need to liberate oneself. And actually, Aries is already a sign that wants to do its own thing. That is emphasized here with Uranus in your sign. It could simply mean, excuse me, that was my computer. It could simply mean that you want to look differently, because it's your 1st house, you want to look differently. But it can also mean that you really want to do what's best for you, and you really want to stand up for your own rights. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with standing up for your own rights, but you really also will have to take other people into consideration, because if you're not going to, in other words, I'm saying it's not your way and just your way is the highway. But I don't think that, although Aries people can be a bit, you know, going straight forward and really forgetting about the people who can't catch up with them, I think if you are someone who really knows that, then this is going to be a huge year for you. If you are someone who's quite selfish and who really doesn't take into account other people, there's going to be power struggles because of this T-square that is happening in the middle of that year. Now, let's talk a bit more about that T-square. So Pluto will be still in your 10th house, which means a huge opportunity for you if you are fed up with your work. I mean the profession that you're doing, not just a job, but the profession. There is a huge opportunity to change it. So you can change from a nurse into a salesman, or from starting your own business and you used to work for a big corporation, or these are all things that are possible for you because there is Pluto in this 10th house. Pluto in the 10th house also means that, you know, there is this feeling of being, how would I say, the mother that is like, the 10th house is often seen as the mother, but it can also mean the work that you're doing, or your boss, or the people that you work for, or authorities, are really, you know, squashing you, or how do you say that, are really doing this with you, and you can't be yourself. You can't be a person, because that boss or whatever, whoever he or she is really overpowering you. And if that is the case, then there is a huge opportunity to get out of that situation, because Jupiter is going to enter that 4th house of yours and opposing that Pluto. So there is tendency of power struggles, as I just mentioned. Now Jupiter and Pluto are interesting planets. If those two ingredients, it's about power and strong power and effective power, and Jupiter is about expansion and it's about meaning, finding meaning in something. If you combine these two, a lot of people, because this happens for everyone, are going to find meaning in their own power. But of course, as I said in the beginning, it's about your power versus the power of other people. And for you, I think it's going to be something between you and work, or a boss, or authorities, or whatever, that you are going to encounter. And again, if you really try to stand up for yourself but not overpower someone else, then there's no problem. And the same will happen to you, so no one will take advantage of you. And I think Aries people are, it's certainly not a sign that let other people walk all over them. I don't think so. But expect some challenging stuff right there. It could also mean that maybe with Jupiter there, as from the beginning of July, so the end of the 27th of June, Jupiter is going to shift into your 4th house of Cancer. And the Jupiter in the 4th house is very nice. It's about you know, finding yourself and finding meaning within yourself. And it could simply mean that you are going to move to a larger house, or that your environment is going to be bigger, or maybe you're going to move to the water side, because Cancer is a water sign. You're going to feel very nurtured with Jupiter there in the 4th house, and that is good. If you want to make these huge changes with Pluto in the 10th and Uranus in your sign, it's good to feel nurtured, and it's good to have roots and to feel that you are stable. So that's a good sign. But for the first 6 months of the year, Jupiter still will be in your 3rd house, and that was also the case in 2012. So still huge possibility to broaden your thinking methods, and maybe having a course, or maybe doing some teaching yourself. That's really good for you. But as I said, the second part of the year will be more focused on those key areas of your life. Now, what else? Saturn is in Scorpio for the whole year, and that is for you, your 8th house. So again, this is and the Saturn is working nicely with Pluto in a sextile. So the 8th house and the 10th house are working together. Saturn is, and especially during the months January, February, March and September, there's this, they understand each other, Saturn and Pluto. And Pluto is about transforming, and Saturn is about hard working. So so it could be the case that you are really through the change that you want to make in work. So it's a good time to change your profession. It's a good time to start your own business. It's a good time to, if you are younger, like 16, 17, 18, and you want to move from home, from your mom, it's a good time to do that. Or maybe you're a bit older, you're going to university, or another school, and you have to live on your own. It's all good. It's all good for you. And Saturn in the 8th house means that you really are going, or will go to face your fears. So you're really going to do that, and that working hard will help you. Maybe working hard on that job, working hard on the changes that you want other people to see. So what a year for Aries people. I'm going to check. There is something else for you that is interesting. You're going to have a lunar eclipse in your sign at the 18th of October. That's the end of the year, at 25 degrees of Aries. So people who have planets around that, it's very interesting. So that will be the moon in your sign. So definitely a new emotional you emerging, and also you showing yourself in a way that maybe you are going to attract other people, or you're going to be something that you will do in public, could also be the case. But having affinity with the public is definitely there, and also a kind of a new start on an emotional level, or not a new start, but as a kind of a culmination that happens there. Something emotionally that you have been wanting to do for a long time is now coming to completion. So, thank you for listening, Aries people. Wish you all the best, and see you next year. Bye bye.